Hey Hebo fans, this is Todd. So today we're going to make a 2000X Beast Man. Now I'm going to use parts of this 2000X, so first let's go ahead and put him in hot water to get his parts soft so we can remove them. So as he's sitting in here and waiting to be tortured, let's go ahead and talk about this a little bit. So we have this Beast Man right here, which is basically the same Beast Man as the Masterverse. I just already pulled off his legs and loincloth earlier in a different video. And now let's go ahead and pull this Beast Man out, and we are gonna actually first remove his hands. You can see how rubbery and soft he is now, and these pieces don't come off like they do, like you would think they would. They're actually molded in, so we have to actually cut them off. Now I have these cool scissors here that have this nice little opening right there that works perfect for sticking the arm in there and just slicing them off. No, Beast Man! Ka-choppa! Let's go and cut off the other one too. I want it as close as possible, so it requires less sanding. And there we go. So now I have the wrist cuffs ready to go. All I have to do is just sand them free. Poor Beast Man. Now, let's go ahead and get the next piece ready we're going to need besides these, because you can see it's going to take a lot of work to get these out. We also need the loincloth. So to get the loincloth off, we're just going to snap this guy right in half. Got a good grip on him. Oh, slow motion. No! Alright, now we got the loincloth. We now have to fit it onto this figure right here. So let's go and compare it to the other one. But first we have to cut it out to fit, and of course we got to heat it up in our hot water so it's easier to cut. So let's go ahead and drop this in our hot water and get this ready for slicing and dicing. Alright, so I heated it up, the little time's passed since then, and let's go and cut this out. Now I did notice that the front of the loincloth should be smaller than the back of the loincloth, because I matched it up with the other loincloth, the original. Cut off all these corners. And again, you just want to keep checking to make sure that you got the right width, otherwise it's going to stick out way too much. Now I'm going to heat this up before I stick it on. And now let's go ahead and jam this onto the figure. I'm going to heat the legs up too while we're waiting. Alright. And basically you just stretch it across, just like when you put on like Polly Pocket's clothes or something. I remember doing that for my daughter all the time, the Polly Pocket clothes. Alright, and there we have it. It's nice and on there. Now it's time to grab the legs and toss those back on as well. Just checking to make sure I got every spot of the loincloth in there correctly in the seam. It's looking pretty good. Grab my tongs of power to pull these legs out. Tongs of power. Alright. See, he's almost done already. I got the loincloth on. That's one of the hardest parts. Okay, actually, it's easier than the wrist cuffs. The wrist cuffs take a long time to do. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, let's go ahead and get busy on those wrist cuffs now, as they got a long time to go. So basically we're just going to take and sand out the center. And believe it or not, this process took me like 20 minutes to do, but I'm not going to make you guys sit and watch all 20 minutes of me sanding around and around and around, bringing it around town. So we're just going to go ahead and skip to the end after my 20-minute pain of sanding. Look at all the shavings I have on the mat there from doing this. And I actually sanded both sides, the front and the back, to get this just right. There it is. It's a thing of beauty. I'm tired of waiting for these pieces. I'm just going to cut them off. Normally I'd keep sanding. They came off on their own, but Beastman's wrist cuff's a little different. Alright, I'm going to heat it up, and then we'll slide it on. So into the hot water, which I skipped that part so you don't have to watch it, and now I'm just jamming it on there. Jam on it. And that looks pretty cool. Stick his hand back on. Not too shabby. Now there is one small spot right there where the glue has a glue spot there. But I guess there's no other way to cover it. I'll have to paint that later on when I'm painting this figure to fix that spot. Alright, on to the other wrist cuff. Now this one I got done a little bit faster. Maybe 15 minutes, I'm guessing. But again, I'm not going to make you watch the whole entire 15 minutes, but I want you to see just the painstaking parts you have to go through to sand this all the way out. It is a pain. And you do the same thing for 2000X He-Man as well, and then also 2000X Skeletor when you're making the wrist cuffs by using the old figures for that. Alright, let's go ahead and just jump forward 15 minutes into the future. And here we go, just about done. Look at that. Looks pretty good. Drop it in the hot water so that we can push it on to his arm. Alright, let's go ahead and get it on his arm now. Nice. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and fast forward a couple days, and I did some painting and some other parts, and let's take a look at that. So here's time passing for a number of days. So here's the Beast Man in his final form. I did some more work on him. I actually put a orange wash all over him to kind of, not a wash, but a dry brush to kind of give him a more orange look. As you can see, the difference in the coloring. And then I painted all his armor brown. And then I also painted the spikes on here an off-white, kind of a brown, white, and gray mixed together. And there is my 2000X Beast Man. I also fixed his teeth while I was at it, so there's another blue teeth anymore. No more blue teeth. Hooray. So let's take a look. I made him to go with my classics. As you can see, I got some 2000X classics back here ready to go. I have my Skeletor, and then I have my Evil Lyn, and then I have my 2000X He-Man. And so you can see I got some 2000X stuff already going on. Let's go and compare him size-wise to the classics He-Man that I made, my 2000X version, and just see how cool he looks. Stand, He-Man, stand. It's funny, these figures are cold. It's always hard to get him to stand. So you can see he looks quite a bit bigger next to He-Man, especially compared to my other 2000X version that I made, which used the standard classics buck. Oh, so you can see kind of the difference there. Size wise, it's quite a bit difference. So I'm pretty happy with him. He came out pretty cool. Let's compare him to the original 2000X just so we can see the difference. Now I did go with a lighter brown. I did have the darker brown paint. It's like, you know what? I think I like the lighter brown better. I did decide to keep this blue instead of painting it green. And I did decide to keep all of the armor pieces just brown. I was going to take and paint all these tips off-white the same way, but I decided, you know what? The original 2000X didn't have it. Now, I do like the armor better on the side instead of on the back of the arm. So this one, you can see the designers put it on the tricep on the back, but I think it looks better on the side of the arm. So there you go. There is my 2000X Beast Man to be used with my classics. So I'm pretty happy with that. Oh. And you can see here is the original Beast Man from the classics line. So here is the original Masterverse, and here is my custom. So you guys can see the comparison. Alright, that's it for real. Good journey, you guys. Bye now.
If you found enjoyment, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Do it!